Hey y'all, what's
up? So this is Judah and Nicole. I don't know if you met, but they
Judah and Nicole.
Yeah,
hey, how you guys doing?
Nicole.
Everything's good.
And so they do
okay.
And it's funny that you all are talking. So they have a documentary out on Sand Branch right now. And the mom
So you're the ones who had it.
Yeah. The mom broke the story of Sand Branch here in Dallas.
And I saw after the fact that you were going to screen of the documentary.
Yeah.
And I'll bless you in your gut for that.
So the mom when the mom got here, I think the mom was even here 6 months, and he was over in Sand Branch, really bringing a highlight to what they're doing.
So you guys did a documentary down there. You know the particulars, and it was interesting meeting the characters down there. And like after we started doing stories, local government, federal government started like to give us some attention. But ever since Pastor KD passed, it's kind of like died down.
You can't say that.
Watch out.
You can't
So
say
yeah,
that.
you guys gonna continue doing like stories down there, or documentaries?
We're gonna stay on. I mean, as much as we can.
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting because I'm gonna head down there and start bringing it up again too, just to visit some of the neighbors and kind of get a gauge. So they started this nonprofit just before Pastor K died. They started a nonprofit, and I've been keeping in touch with the attorney and some of the neighbors down there, but I think it's time to do a deeper dive into where things stand right now, because I think after his leadership, it's just kind of interested to find out where they are.
Yes, I agree. Wow. Okay, look.
And especially like with I know Eddie Bernice Johnson had gone down there to take a look, and with her going out of office now, political changes, interest change, social climate changes and everything. I don't want that community to be ignored,
That's great. It's beautiful to hear. I mean, really, because I just want to make sure people are looking.
But you know how it is. Most of those residents are older, and they kind of get used to the way of life.
Right.
And there's people who, their family members who don't necessarily live there and got to see how they live when they go there. Or outsiders like us who understand, okay, something's not right here. There's like social injustices, environmental injustices, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's time to get some more attention down there.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. And look, we're going to impromptu interviews. Right? Since you do have some information about that, since you did start that story on that, like, the question that we've been faced with the most is, how can the average person help? Like, if the average person just wants to help, what can they do?
And that's the thing, because you guys probably understand that the neighborhood is unique. Some of the neighbors are set in their ways. Some neighbors welcome the assistance. Some neighbors don't want it, So I know when the church was openly and aggressively soliciting donations that they could disperse to the residents, that was like really aggressive, and people were doing it. Volunteers were bringing in water, food donations and everything, and they were distributing that. Now I think it's time to regroup, find out where the neighborhood is, what their plan of action has been. I know they have an attorney who's been helping the neighbors out. As a journalist, it's time for me to kind of find out who the key players are right now, since some of the active members who were most vocal years ago that kind of passed on or left the area. It's kind of trying to find out who the sources of communication are. And that way you can better try to assess what the needs are and how other people outside of Sand Branch can help just by hearing their story. I still see the updates, and people are trying to figure out how can people in an area like Dallas or so close to Dallas be subject to those conditions, and they want to help. So it's all a matter of regrouping, trying to figure out if there's a want for the assistance and what the proper channel is. Because I know the church down there was the main artery to getting everything out to the people, but the dynamics have changed over the years a little bit. Yeah. You guys have probably known that.
Right, yeah. So that's all place we had to do that. I was like, go down to the church. I know Saturdays and Sundays. They do water drives there. That's as much as I give. I know they have to call you, like you. That's all the information there is.
And one of the big things that I've learned is about you really have to work hard to gain the neighbor's trust. I think a lot of times what was told to me is that, especially got older neighbors there who have seen different politicians come through there and heard different excuses and everything. Trust is a big thing with them. They've seen so many people come through, so many broken promises, or so many extensions of gratitude that weren't fulfilled. So they kind of like, oh, okay, it takes a little bit to gain their trust. We've managed to do that a little bit, but I think that's ultimately going to be one of the main things we deal with as we continue to look at what's happening in Sand Branch. Is that it's a prideful community, it's an older community, but trust is a major factor because for so long they felt like they've been ignored or duped. You know, so yeah.
Most definitely. Yo. I hope y'all heard this. I hope y'all pay attention. You know what I'm saying? This, we thank you. We thank journalists like Mr. Demond, you know what I'm saying? Because you're on the mainstream platform. And so to see you out here, you know, really caring about our stories, it means a lot to people, especially our audience, people who don't think that mainstream care.
But I tell you, we appreciate artists and documentarians like you all because on the news, we have a 30-minute newscast, and my segments on the news are only about a minute and a half. So a minute and a half can only tell but a certain bit of the story. You guys have the freedom and creativity and the platform to do something more broad-based and to get it to a larger audience. So, no, we definitely appreciate you guys doing the work you do and continuing to tell that story. And I know the neighbors down there appreciate you guys bringing some attention to what's happening down in Sand Branch. Again, I think moving forward, it's just a matter of not forgetting that community and just continue to spread the word.
Right on. Awesome. Thank you. That's love, man. That's love.
And thank you too. Yeah, thank you. I see you working as cameraman, the camera lady right now. Yeah. But you know I wasn't ready for that. Y'all caught me off guard. Y'all caught me off guard.